Good morning, everybody. Yesterday proved to be an extremely emotional one in the trial of the accused Boston Marathon bomber Johar Tsarnaev. The court heard testimony from Bill Richard, the father of the 8-year-old boy Martin, who was killed in the blast. Now, according to reports, Richard described the moments after the blast when he looked down at his son's pale body and realized he would not make it. Also speaking in court yesterday was Rebecca DiMartino, who lost a leg in the blast. After she testified, she took to social media to post this open letter to Tsarnaev. She starts the letter by describing how he's been a fixture in her nightmares since the bombings. You can see part of the letter on screen here. Now, she goes on to say how facing him has made her get over her fear of him. But, you know, I love how she closes the letter. So listen to this, guys. She writes, quote, "To me, you're a nobody, and it is official that you have lost. So, man, that really sucks for you, bro. I truly hope it was worth it. Sincerely, someone you shouldn't have messed with." End quote. Powerful, powerful words right there. Good for her.
Yeah.
Well, of course, moving on. So flights are starting to get back on track this morning after LaGuardia Airport in New York City was closed yesterday afternoon due to this Delta flight skidding off the runway. Terrifying footage. It was definitely a close call. You can see the plane crash through the gate and stop just before the water. Luckily, there were only minor injuries. The NTSB is investigating the incident. You know, funny enough, I was actually supposed to fly to LGA yesterday morning. I got to the airport here in Orlando about an hour after it happened, waited there for like 5 hours, and then my flight was finally canceled. But Jared and Jess, you know, it was crazy just listening to some of the people talk about being on the plane when this happened. Everyone said on the plane they were surprisingly really calm.
Really?
Everyone was kind of just wondering what was happening. They said the pilot seemed really in control, but can you imagine looking out your window and seeing, you know, the plane getting so close to that water, wondering if you're gonna go in?
Wondering if they were just so nervous that they were like stiff. Because I know whenever there's turbulence, I'm like,
Yes.
I will not
The world
move.
stops.
It's one of my nightmares. And LaGuardia has one of the shortest runways, I believe, in the country.
And only two runways, I think. Yeah.
So this is something that is always, you know, mindful when you're flying into New York. Thank God everyone was okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So scary. And thank goodness I'm here today to grace you all with my presence instead of going to New York. No, but thankfully everyone's safe on that plane. Well, not only is the winter weather causing travel delays in the skies, but also on the ground. So thanks to the snow, hundreds were stuck for hours on 2 Kentucky highways. The National Guard was even sent out to make sure people were safe and deliver food and water, but it wasn't all doom and gloom, okay? Some were able to get out and actually enjoy the snow day. So much fun. I can't forget that as a kid. But the question is, of course, how long will all of this last? Jessica will have more on your weekend outlook in weather. You know, after the revelations earlier this week that Hillary Clinton used her private email during her time as Secretary of State, the government says they will now review the 55,000 pages of emails handed over, all to make sure there was no instances where she improperly transmitted sensitive data. So, interns, do we have a serious project for you? My goodness, 55,000 pages.
Crazy.
That is crazy. Officials say the reviews could take months, understandably so. All right, guys, the last in our top 5 headlines is news that Michael Brown's parents plan on suing the city of Ferguson, Missouri. Now, this news comes on the heels of the announcement by the Department of Justice this week that there will be no charges against Officer Darren Wilson, the officer who shot and killed an unarmed Brown. Now, the family's attorney says they will file a wrongful death lawsuit against the city and against Officer Wilson. Even though Wilson was cleared, the Justice Department also released that scathing report blasting the police department for racially biased policing. We talked about it the last few days. Definitely some shocking things in there. So it's interesting. It's all coming to light.
They just want closure.
Yeah.
That's all they want.
That's
some
all
justice.
you need. And that's the only way you can heal. Because I can't imagine not having justice and then you have that hanging over your head. You know, it's really hard for them.